Welcome to the Bookers Alliance podcast, where we hold the pencil and the pencil is power. Coming at you right now is your host, Marky Mark, along with the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Donaldson. Join us as we discuss the ever-changing landscape of professional wrestling. So hang on tight, you jabronis, and enjoy the ride. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Bookers Alliance podcast. Come on in, get your ringside seat, get your popcorn, get your Kleenex, and
pretty much
NyQuil and whatever else we need over here.
Baby.
Yeah, Frank, he's pushing through everybody.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you my DMX today. You might get it. You might hear a lot of. It might be some of that today, but I'll get through it. I got this. We're gonna trudge along.
All right. So our topic today, what we're talking about, is Summertime Heatwave.
Oh yeah,
not Heatwave '93. Was that ECW?
Yeah, that was definitely ECW. And woo,
yeah.
Those were interesting days.
Was that the one with Jenna Jameson on the cover?
Maybe.
There?
Yeah, because that would have been hot enough. That makes sense. That's about as hot as it got back in '93. So,
and we also ain't talking about Sunday Night Heat, so don't get confused on that.
No, we missed Sunday Night Heat though. We need that back.
We need that back actually. That'd be
not like we don't already have way too much wrestling on TV to keep up with as is. But
I mean, your Sunday night football game usually wraps up about 6:30.
Yeah.
Sunday
they
night
fit it
football
in. Yeah, they fit it into that hour where you had where you had free time. They always fit it in.
Nice.
Get a little bit of wrestling in. I mean, we got some classic matches out of Sunday Night Heat. We did. Empty arena match between Rock and Mankind. We had some activity there. I miss those times.
Now we're talking about Summertime Heat. So basically, we're going to break down the Summer Slam card and talk about all the matches that are getting ready to go down. But first and foremost, we got some breaking news.
All right.
Here.
Yeah, we sure do. I mean, everybody out there listening, I know y'all done caught a glimpse of it, so we got to talk about it. This will be a good time for you guys to chime in on your thoughts because, where could this go?
Shane McMahon has bought WCW.
Wow, there you go. He's going to do a split screen with Stephanie McMahon.
With Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, they're shocked faces, and Vince's Adam's apples go jiggle up and down. And
they're going to dig Vince out of retirement, put him back on TV.
Yep. Now, who's that? Who's Joey Styles is going to say, oh my God.
We kid. But there are some Shane McMahon news that is happening. A picture has leaked online of Shane
Did
McMahon.
It really leak?
See, that's the thing.
Come on.
I don't know that it leaked.
There ain't no way that those guys were, and they said that happened in the airport, right?
Yeah.
There ain't no way those guys were in the Houston airport and somebody snapped a picture of them two fools looking at the camera.
I will say
and they didn't get up and
Shane's-
stop it.
Shane's face didn't look too happy, though.
Now, he probably wasn't thrilled about it, but did you see Tony Khan's little weasel face down there?
Tony was like, hee.
He was looking down there. Yeah, he had that sinister grin on, like the Riddler would have back in the day, where he was thinking this was planned perfectly.
All right, so to break it down, there was a picture that came out online today where Shane McMahon and Tony Khan were caught in an airport boardroom.
Where's this going?
Yeah, I know, because as I was saying it, I was like, is this the shoe under the bathroom stall type
you said
deal?
They were caught. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. This is starting to sound salacious here. We don't do that on this show. We either tell it like it is or we tell it like we want it to be. But
we save those stories for Liv and Dom.
Absolutely, yeah. We don't do guy on guy stuff on this show. So if you're looking for that, there are
different podcasts
with that out there. That just ain't us. Sorry.
But if the picture is to be believed, which I think it is, it looks like a legit picture. It's not photoshopped in any way. But what in the world could this mean for the world of AEW?
I mean, it can only be good things. I mean, right now they
Can it though?
At this point, they've only got up to go. I mean,
we don't remember the Royal Rumble that Shane booked.
So I highly doubt he'd be wrestling, right? But I mean,
he didn't. I'm just talking about booked. The rumor was he booked the whole 2022
He
Royal
did,
Rumble.
but he booked it to get himself in and to get himself kind of over into his angle. So that's why he ended up booking it, because they were trying to accommodate where he wanted to get in and what spots he wanted to do. So instead of trying to work it and then just tell him to insert himself, they said, well, here, you just do it. And you see what we got. So that's why he hasn't done any more.
I will say this, though. If this all happens and it comes to fruition that Shane McMahon is now in the AEW atmosphere, so to speak.
Oh,
Where would I love to see this go?
I mean, if those two are in cahoots against, let's be honest, the McMahon Helmsley era, because I mean, Stephanie can say she's out, but I mean, pillow talk, if nothing else, she's in the business. So if that happens, I mean, my God,
pillow or pillows?
I don't know how many pillows they might use. Her pillows shrunk a little bit since back in the Attitude Era. So I don't know where it could go, but I mean, that would be real fun for wrestling, right? Because while Tony Khan isn't Triple H or Stephanie McMahon, he's definitely got the bankroll of both. So if he lets Shane kind of steer the ship and he just kind of keeps putting gas in it, hey, we might have magic on that.
So I don't know where it's going to go, but I can tell you where I don't want it to go.
Okay, where's that?
I do not want it to go where Shane McMahon pops up on TV and Shane McMahon says, I'm part of the elite. So, and then Tony Khan shows up on TV and says, I'm AEW.
Yeah, so is there any other real way it could go, though? I mean, if Shane gets in bed with them, there's no other angle to do but the invasion angle. I mean, they've already got so many WWE guys and WCW guys.
Cliche.
It is, but I mean, honestly, is there anything else you'd really want to see?
Yeah.
Do you really want to see Shane get in there and be friends with Tony Khan?
No, I don't want to see Shane at all.
Well,
I don't want to see Shane. I don't want to see Tony at all.
Well, yeah, nobody wants to see him, but we're already seeing him. So
here's what I want. If Shane can come in and use all of the years that he sat in WWE and observed all of the angles that was booked and everything that kind of happened, and if he can transfer that knowledge in booking over to AEW, that's what I want. So, I don't want him as an on-screen persona. I don't want him as a wrestler. I don't want him and Tony to do an invasion angle. I don't want any of that.
Everything you just said at the end is definitely what's going to happen if they get in bed together. I mean,
which is exactly why I don't like it.
It's going to end up being Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff teaming up on WCW all over again. I mean, TNT's seen this whole thing play out before, and it seems like they're wandering back into that territory, but because they would have a McMahon under the helm of it, I feel like TNT would just throw their hands up and say, you know what? Okay. We completely trust you guys. We know your track record. We're going to let you do it. And I feel like it's going to end up just like the WWE invasion when Shane and Vince were on opposite sides.
So let's say that happens. Let's say this happens, right?
Okay.
If Shane McMahon...
It's going to happen. You think Tony Khan's going to be creative enough to come up with a different idea?
If Shane McMahon shows up, it's an invasion angle. He joins the elite. He's hamming it up with Young Bucks, Okada, Miss CEO, Hangman. If he's in cahoots with them, okay. If there's got to be an opposition, I don't want it to be Tony. Let it be Bryan Danielson.
Who?
Let it be Bryan Danielson.
Nah, hell.
Let it.
If Shane worked for Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson worked for Shane for a little bit on there. We can't go back to that history.
That's the thing. Tony is so he brains wise, okay. On screen wise, he is the most awkward thing to watch on screen.
Well, that's definitely true. But
so I if anything, say, okay, if it's the elite versus AEW, I've got things to run in the back. I've got the business to run, anything like that. But here is my predecessor. Here is my person that is going to wave the AEW flag. Let it be Bryan Danielson.
So, yeah, that's the talent. That's your in-ring work. But we've already had the groundwork laid for this. I mean, with the elite attacking Tony Khan, that was the groundwork for where this can go. And the last time we saw Shane in a wrestling ring, he came up limp in the,
with both quads.
Yeah, with the Miz and Snoop Dogg and all that. So, I mean, Shane don't need to be in the ring either. No. But if you've got the two figureheads again, so Tony has to be in it, but it's, to get to that angle. But here's the difference with what we have now. Everything you said about Tony Khan is true, as far as his on-screen persona goes, right? What if he had the coaching of another billionaire son who does have good on-screen presence, who could show him how to carry on that role and say, hey, this is the kind of guy you need to be, and he could coach him up to it.
In my best Shannon Sharp face. Nope. And here's why. ain't no amount of coaching going to fix him.
So no, I mean,
because somebody already would have if it was.
Well, I don't know about that. So who else has the perspective that he has that he's been affiliated with? Nobody has the perspective that he has.
Nobody, but if he's truly a man of the talent and listens to the talent, somebody should have felt comfortable enough to step up and go, look, dude, you don't need to be seen on camera.
But we know that's not true. I mean, they should have been. The talent doesn't stop it from tweeting.
It could have been Punk.
It probably would have been Cody, and I think that's why Cody had to leave. Because as we talked about before, Cody said there was a fundamental disagreement at the top. And I'm feeling like that was it. Where Cody said, you don't need to rely more on me being the face of the company. Like Cody could have been your president, Jack Tunney, right? While Tony was doing your Vince role. But because Tony grew up in the Attitude Era and he saw Vince on camera as the powerful owner, and on the other channel he saw Eric Bischoff as the powerful owner, he feels like he has to do that. But what he misses is Eric was the figurehead for the Billionaire 10, and that's what Tony needs to be. But unfortunately, Tony is the figurehead for Billionaire Shad. So Tony is that guy that has to be on camera. And he's going to be wormy and slimy and ratty, and he's going to be all that because that's just what comes across. But there's no point in showing that picture if you're not going to do that. If you're going to do another angle, you show Shane running into Daniel Bryanson like in the airport bathroom or something. You don't show those two putting heads together if you're not going to pit them against each other.
What if the scenario is Shane buys into the company because Shad is like, damn, Tony, you done cost us this much money. We're bleeding money left and right. It's not working. We need a backer.
So what if now Shane, we're wandering down into TNA territory where they brought Jeff Jarrett back with Global Force Wrestling and all, and we saw how horrible that was. So there's no good angle to this, right? Let's just have that conversation now. There's no good out to do this, but it's something that has to be done if it's on the table for you. If you're the number 2 company and you can get Shane McMahon, who's been all over WWE TV for the better part of 25 years, if you can get him underfold and get him on your TV screen, you have to do it.
All right,
but there's no good way to get out of it once you do it.
Let's spin this out. Let's we're the bookers of the line. So let's spin.
You can book it. There ain't no good way to get out of it.
But let's book it this way. What if if we're going to do it, let's go over the freaking top. Let's go completely nutso and just get very creative with it. What if it's like, Tony announces Shane, we're partners. We coming at this together. AEW is going to excel going forward. And then all of a sudden Shane stops Tony mid-statement and go, hey, Tony, there was something in that contract that got worked out kind of last minute, and I don't know if your lawyers ever brought it to your attention, but we kind of agreed upon it. I now own 51% of AEW. And then it spins into the side of, well, how did you do this? What happened? How did this happen? And all of a sudden, Tony's dad gets in the picture.
Yeah, so we've seen Shad on camera before too. He was worse than he was worse than Tony. I'm saying. And I feel like Shad knows that he was worse than Tony on camera. So I feel like he'll never do it again. Let it be way awkward. Ugh. But let Shad go. Yeah, Tony, I put that in there at the last minute. So I mean, I don't dislike that, but like I said, I think that's way out there. Let me give you a different take on it, right? So how about the same thing? Shane comes in, Shane and Tony are working, and they're out there. Oh, we're gonna chop the head off the beast. they never refer to WWE as, but they're always referencing, and they do it anyway. So why not just keep doing it? Right? We're gonna chop the head off the beast. We're coming for the king. Blah blah blah. All those different things. Well, down the road, I think they should swerve it to whereas they act like when I drive. There you go. They act like Shane is like infiltrating AEW and he's really working for WWE. Kind of like what they did with the Outsiders, the angle that they brought in.
Let the fans run with the theory.
Exactly. Then they, you put those little seeds in there that say, hey, is Shane really on our side, or is Shane here to poison the company? Is he here to kill AEW? Or as Vince said once, kill my own creation with the NWO. So same difference, right?
Right.
I feel like that would have legs, because then that's the best way that you could pit those two against each other, still keeping Tony as a face, because now you're taking the AEW, faithful and saying Shane's going to take it all away from you because he's coming from the big bad machine up at the top. And Tony's fighting from below. And that's what Tony's been lacking all along, where he wants to be the underdog and he's always saying, everybody's always detrimental to us and, we have to fight from behind and all that. It's great to say, but when your father actually has more money than the whole other competition, the proof is in the pudding that it's just your product isn't as good as the other guys are, because the money would say that you should be beating them.
Yeah.
But you're not, and there's a reason why. But if you play into all that and say, we're bringing in Shane because that's the boost that we need to get over the top. 7-8 months down the road, Shane actually reveals that he's been there trying to destroy the company all along. I feel like that's the way you put that marriage together and get those two on opposing ends, where now Tony is that beloved owner, that character that we want to see succeed and we want to boo Shane. Because when Shane comes in, let's be honest, he go get booed.
Yeah, he's heel.
Absolutely. Well, he go get booed when he comes in.
Oh, no,
they're going to be looking at it. Yeah, because he's going to be the savior.
But, I mean, that's the thing.
He's going to be AEW Jesus. I mean, at that point, that's what they're going to do. They're going to dub him AEW Jesus.
AEW Jesus.
Yep. And so those of you who saw Deadpool and Wolverine, you know where we're going.
You know where that is.
But yeah, he's going to be AEW Jesus. He's there to resurrect the company. He's going to take it to new heights and the promised land, for God's sake. But then when he turns on you and you find out he was the devil in disguise, you're like, oh my God, he's the worst of the worst. He's pond scum at that point.
I will say this. No matter how it happens, am I going to watch?
Oh, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And is it going to give us great stuff to talk about for a while? In a dead period where we haven't had a lot to talk about? Oh, yeah. Shane going to AEW ate The Rock, buying into a piece of WWE. But it's damn close. It's as close as they're going to get short of bringing Vince in. And I mean, I don't think anybody wants to touch that right now. So
No, ain't nobody going near Vince with a 10-foot pole right now.
Although if they want to bring Stephanie in, I'd go at her with a pole. I don't have no problem with that. It could be 10 foot, 10 inch, 10 whatever.
Sponsored Blue Chew.
Absolutely. Stephanie McMahon, sponsored Blue Chew. Look, go back to her promo with John Cena back from the early Thugonomics era of John Cena. Go back to a lot of her promos with Chris Jericho, let's say The Rock, Triple H pedigree in her on the table once. You'll see something you didn't plan on seeing in that match. Stephanie McMahon, sponsor of Blue Chew.
Blue Chew. All right,
Stephanie, we salute you. Swing.
Show.
Wow, we're old.
We're old.
Yep.
I wonder how many out there y'all got that reference.
Nope. Especially like our overseas people. They're like, what the hell are they talking about? There's probably like 3 people that are listening like, ooh, Wade's World. It's only 3 though. The other 100,000 people, they're like, oh, nope, lost.
All right, let's talk about our topic. Let's get into SummerSlam 2024. Let's break down the card.
All right, Rhea Ripley versus Liv. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know where you're going with that.
Let's go save that for a little.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's usually what's all about, especially when we start bringing up Blue Chew. That my mind kind of wanders into
Liv Morgan
into that storyline. Yeah. I'm sorry.
All right, let's start off with Bayley and Nia. Let's start.
That ain't where my mind goes when we're doing Blue Chew.
All right, so this kind of little feud has been brewing for a few weeks. Nia, of course, is getting
years.
Yeah, Nia's of course getting this championship title match due to her winning Queen of the Ring, but there's some promos going around between these two, and there seems they're at least on the surface they're kind of presenting it as some legitimate heat.
Yeah,
and Bayley's trying to tell Nia basically she sucks as a wrestler and all she does is hurt people.
Which at one point in time was
true.
And she said that before Nia's release. Oh, that would have been stinging hard. Those would have been zingers.
And Nia, of course, Nia has had this complex since she's came back. Is she's better than everybody else. She's gonna squash and stack like Roman Reigns. The fact that she's picked up the bonsai drop as her finishing move, love it. I mean, Nia has been, for me, she's been hitting on all cylinders.
Yep, since her return,
it's exactly what I wanted out of Nia Jax.
Yep.
I hope to God that they don't course correct and do something way different with her. I think
they should just let this ride out.
I want her to be in this character.
She should win the title. I'm going on record right now and saying she should walk out of SummerSlam with that championship.
But I'm going on record right now saying she ain't.
So under Triple H booking, probably not, right? But we got to see SmackDown. So up till this weekend, I was under the impression that Damian Priest was definitely going to lose against Gunther, but after I see their little tit for tat here, I don't know now. But we'll get there.
So I'm still riding with my assumption that Bayley and Nia is going to have a hell of a match. It's going to be a knockdown drag out. Nia is still going to come up short somehow, and Bayley's going to pull out the win. And then the next time we see them on TV, Nia's going to try to get her revenge. She's going to come in there and beat the ever-loving dog mess out of Bayley. And Tiffy Time is going to cash in her briefcase.
All right, I hear you. I'm going like opposite, though. I feel like Nia's going to win it, and then they're going to play the angle of Tiffy trying to possibly cash in on Nia for a while now until eventually she does, and then, starts her. But that's down the road some. That cash in will be a ways away, but I feel like that's the angle.
The only way that she cashes in on Nia's got to have some kind of a knee injury or something that takes her off.
Or she could Banzai and miss. I mean, because that Bret Hart beat Yokozuna off a miss Banzai once. So we can go there.
We already got one Bret Hart storyline going on right now.
We can revive all of them if we have to.
Yep. So we're on opposite.
Yep.
Well, so you're saying Nia's
we're
taking
on
it?
1-1 right there.
All right. Let's move on. Priest Gunther. So you just said Priest Gunther. You're not sure anymore.
So yeah, 2 weeks ago, I think when we recorded, I flat out said, no way Gunther ain't going over in this. And I'm probably...
And I think I said Priest was going to hang on to it.
I'm probably more 55-45 on it right now, right? Like going into Raw, I was, because they had the pull-apart brawl. And I mean, we all, those of us who've been watching a long time, know the 50-50 book in WWE does. If you win the brawl on Raw or SmackDown before the pay-per-view, you probably ain't winning at the pay-per-view, right? But then you'll get your comeuppance at the Raw or SmackDown after the pay-per-view, kind of to keep it even. But I mean, the brawls that they have been pretty even right now. But the way Gunther beat Finn Balor, that kind of swayed me on that. I mean, he beat that great match. Wow, what a great match those two guys had. Match. But I mean, when Gunther went for the W, Gunther took the W. Yeah. I mean, he choked that man down and made it. I don't know if I've ever seen Finn Balor just fall asleep in the ring.
Gunther's had these matches though where it's just it's tick for tat. It's they're going back and forth, and then all of a sudden at the end, Gunther just strings together this combo.
Yeah, it's like he takes it to another level.
He found the Mortal Kombat code or something. Like he hits 4 or 5 moves together, and then the next thing you know, it's pinfall, and he's done. And it's like, holy
and then you're sitting there like, good Lord, you know, the only way you know it's coming is if you're looking at the time, because you're looking at the clock like, ooh, shit, it's 11 o'clock. Here we go. And you start really focusing in. But I mean, yeah, at this point, I don't know if Priest has enough to get through what Gunther's going to bring to that particular match. Plus, him lead the charge into the Germany pay-per-view, things like that. So I don't know if they're gonna not let Gunther go over this time. I don't know.
So you said you're 55-45.
I'm probably 55-45. That Priest to win. We'll see as we get to the pay-per-view.
So I'm gonna flop on you. I'm saying Gunther's gonna take it.
Oh wow.
I'm going to say Gunther's going to take it.
Here.
I'm going to say Gunther's taking it, and he's going to go into Bash in Berlin as the champ with Damian Priest chasing for a rematch.
I can see that.
I think that's how it's going to happen.
I can see that.
All right, let's move on to our next match on the card. Logan Paul versus LA Knight.
Yep.
Easy, we know the outcome.
Oh yeah, if they don't do something with LA Knight here, they ain't never doing nothing with LA Knight.
His character's dead.
Yeah, if you don't pull the trigger now, you are just hanging it up. You're calling it one and moving on. So unfortunately, that is a possibility. I just hope that isn't what we get for LA Knight. I feel like he's still got enough steam in the engine that he could do something with that United States title.
Yep, I feel like he can. To steal the Sheamus term, he can start putting on some bangers of matches with that U.S. title. I feel like he would be a great candidate to bring back the U.S. title open.
Yep, that would definitely.
And I also feel like he would be a great candidate, even though I like the design of that belt. I feel like he would be a great candidate to redesign the belt.
That I don't see. With the way they're selling replicas now, I don't see them getting away from any designs.
Dude, we get a SummerSlam belt. We had a Money in the Bank belt. Dude, they coming up with all kinds of.
They've got every replica you can think of, but I don't see them changing that one right now.
But as far as LA Knight carrying the belt, hell yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to see that. Wow, I can't believe I'm gonna make this statement. Love Logan Paul as champ.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he brings a different set of eyes to the product.
He brings a different set of eyes, a different type of match.
Yeah, different type of everything. I mean, different type of promo. When he starts throwing punches or he starts antagonizing in there and gives it way more of an MMA feel than it does the typical WWE feel, which is good because it's different. Gives you, it's interesting. It's something else to watch. So yeah, he definitely ain't doing a bad job, but he's had that title a long time right now, and let's put it honestly, he ain't available 24/7.
So let's talk about Logan for a minute. If he drops the title to LA Knight, what's next for Logan?
So in all honesty, I think he goes back to what he was doing before, where he kind of goes away again.
He signed a pretty big contract.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to know it wasn't full time. I mean, because this ain't his full time.
Not full time, but
full-time gig.
So what I see could happen into Logan, and even though I know you hate this, but I feel like to get eyes on the Netflix deal, I feel like there could be a swap as far as Logan Paul, and he winds up on Raw, and then winds up chasing for the Intercontinental title.
So they need to be tracing Braun Breaker, which we might as well get into that match next. He ain't beating Braun Breaker.
No, he's not beating Braun Breaker.
I don't care how much Netflix is paying him. If he beats Braun Breaker, damn it, I'm just canceling the Netflix and I get that
Could
free.
you see him getting in a tag program with anybody?
So you want to know where I would see Logan Paul fit perfectly? I get it. Because he's ultimate reality superstar, it would be kind of, intricate to push along. But I would love to see him wander over to Raw and get involved in the whole Dom, Rhea, Liv thing. Because who else besides, the smart-ass talking Logan Paul could really get that program, a shot in the arm with two women involved, fighting over Dom. Fighting over Logan Paul is an upgrade over fighting over Dom. I mean, let's call a spade on that. I feel like he could get involved in that. Then you could work matches all around. You could work mixed tags. You could work... I mean, hell, if you had to, you could work Rhea and Logan Paul if you wanted. If you wanted to do a spot, you could work that.
What if you floated him down to NXT?
Down at NXT, he'd have to work harder. So I don't know about that. And he's not going to get as many eyes on him. So that's kind of a...
And that's not to say that he needs to be in NXT, though. That's just like, hey, big name NXT, eyes on product.
I mean, he could definitely get down there for spots. Like, now, as far as being on that roster, no, I don't see that. You don't bring in a Logan Paul to put him on your third brand. I mean, that'd be like sending him to AEW. You don't...
Logan Paul, Joe Hendry.
I mean, they would elevate Joe Hendry long before they would downgrade Logan Paul. Plus, hell, TNA would definitely want that on Raw or SmackDown. You're not going to waste a Logan Paul thing on
NXT.
Right on. I mean, and don't get me wrong, NXT puts on a good show, but they're also only dragging in, a 250,000 viewers.
Right.
You ain't putting Logan Paul on with 250,000 viewers when he's coming off SmackDown with 2 to 3 million.
So let's segue into Sammy versus Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Think it's a foregone conclusion what's going to happen?
They blew it at the last, and I told you before.
Yeah.
Where else do you put a guy like Braun Breaker over but in the dog pound in Cleveland? Because he got that dog.
That dog, them dogs are barking every time that man comes out.
And when he's in Cleveland, where they got the heads, and because they're in the football stadium, so you got the dog heads, and those fans know how to bark. They got the section called the dog pound. Braun Breaker wins that title. He wanders right over in the dog pound.
Section, absolutely.
And, and he sits with the fans and he's cheering. I mean, they're woofing and all that. Hell, he wears the Rick Steiner jacket with the dogs on there as the dog face grip. Go all out with it. I mean, you're not going to have a better marriage here for having the dog face Gremlin's son who got that dog in him winning in the damn dog pound of football. You're going to beat that.
Everybody was calling for him to win at Money in the Bank. It didn't happen.
We were too.
They didn't pull the trigger.
It didn't click for me. Why? Until I realized, hell, they're going to Cleveland. They're going to the dog pound. Good. But you want to talk about the light flip went on over my head? Damn it, you would have seen it like a cartoon when I realized that. I'm like, oh shit, how'd I miss that?
So with that match, Sammy's going to put up a good fight as always. Are we going to see some insane spots in there? Yeah. As far as Ilya Dragunov, Godspeed to you, sir. Don't know where you are, but I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Because Breaker damn near killed you.
Yeah, he needs a little bit of time off. So, I mean, it kind of works that this match is coming, so he can kind of hang out a little bit and and come after the winner of the match.
But if Breaker does win the belt, first opponent up, Ilya Dragunov.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's already a classic.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Liv versus Rhea.
Oh, yeah. Match of the night.
Match of the night, huh?
Not the match of the night now.
Who's
going to look good?
Who's walking away with the belt?
So every inkling inside of me has to say Rhea, right? Because it's definitely Rhea's world right now. The women's division is Rhea's division. everything is coming up Rhea on winning that title in SummerSlam. But there ain't no way she could win that title in SummerSlam, right? God, there's so much more to do with that story. If she wins and Liv's revenge tour is over, fuck, the storyline's over. It's a wrap at that point.
Yeah.
Just shut it all down. But if she loses, God, you've got months to build on that. The fact that Liv can come out there and say, after Dirty Dom broke my heart and left me in shambles, but I was still able to achieve my Liv revenge tour and beat Rhea Ripley and blah, blah, blah. Well, now both of them have a gripe, right? Dom mistreated Liv, so Liv still got a gripe. Rhea loses to Liv. Now Rhea's got a gripe. Oh, hell, that's a blank slate right there. Now you can start a whole new storyline and start painting. God, you can go all day. You can go over the rest of the year on that.
So I have always been under the impression that Liv is going to retain. Liv's going to retain because of interference from Dom.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be unclear if Dom was trying to help Rhea or trying to help Liv.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Dom
unclear.
does that. He does that good. So
right. He does that very clear. At first I thought Dom was going to make the full turn.
Yeah.
And turn and go with Liv and screw Rhea over.
Yeah.
But I think what's going to happen is it could happen a couple different ways. I would love to see it happen where Rhea looks at Dom and says, "Don't come to ringside. I don't need any distractions."
Well, Judgment Day said this past Monday on Raw, everybody's going it alone.
Themselves.
So, they made a point to say, Finn made a point to say, everybody's doing it alone, so I got to do it alone. So that implies Dom shouldn't be out there, but Dom's never supposed to be out there. And he always finds his way out there, and hilarity ensues.
So do I think Liv retains? Yes, I think she's gonna retain because Dom's gonna try to cause interference for Rhea, but he's gonna mess up. Then this is gonna cause friction between Rhea and Dom.
Yep.
Rhea's gonna go for a rematch, and then that's when Dom will fully screw over Rhea at that point.
So somebody said there's somewhere down the road probably something in line of Rhea possibly having a match with Dom, which I could see that. For
China got in there with with
Jericho, and I think her and Eddie had a little thing.
Yeah.
And I mean that plays through the storyline perfectly. And I could definitely see that. So if you're gonna go to that point, you can't put the title on Rhea because Dom can't wrestle for that title. So. Good way to keep the title off of her. Good way to factor that in. Do we see Buddy Murphy at any point in time in that match? Do you think they can find a way to pull that out?
So I'm gonna go on record saying this: Buddy Murphy, you a damn freak. You letting your girl go out there and lick other men in the face.
Buddy Murphy just signed a new contract with AEW. So I mean, when he was signing that, because he was on the table of, do I need to go down here and keep an eye on her? Or, I think Buddy Murphy was told, like, hey, I'm in my stride right now. You just got to deal with what you see on TV.
Either that or maybe him and Rhea's got a really open relationship.
Hey, maybe so. I mean, it's 2024. That stuff's in now. So
she can have all kinds of entanglements
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's good with Liv in there because, I mean, if Buddy Murphy thinks he can wander his way into that. So Buddy Murphy's already swam in Alexa Bliss water, so he can't really go down from there. I mean.
Yeah, he can.
Well, yeah, he definitely can. Not on that no more, though, because hell.
Blue Chew, our sponsor.
Absolutely. But apparently Alexa Bliss is gone for the long haul, so I guess he's going down on that. But wow, what if we could find a way to factor her into the story, too? My goodness.
Good God. All right, we got to get moving. We got to go on. Let's get into our Thruples match.
Nice. Right on time.
Right on time.
Right on time.
Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. With the
I know who's the bottom on that.
With the puffiest damn referee shirt I've ever seen in my life.
Like I said, I know who's bottom on that one.
Even Bully, God bless you. Bully even said, I look better in a referee shirt than Seth did.
So Bully's puffy was just down around the truck tire, though, right? So Seth's puffy was up in the shoulders. Bully's puffy was down around the belt line, but same difference.
Yep. But yeah, this match, you got Seth being the special guest referee, CM Punk versus Drew in kind of a heated feud. I don't think we get anywhere with this. I don't think we get any answers out of this. And
SummerSlam 1997.
Honestly, I don't know how in the world they're going to book this to wind up at the end. I do know I see a secondary match coming out of this with Seth not the special guest referee, with it actually going to be a three-way match. I think that's at Bad Blood. I think that's your main event for Bad Blood.
So if we play out the story, the HBK Bret Hart Undertaker storyline, we're living in that same world right now with these three guys.
Yep.
So I don't see it going. I mean, this is Triple H booking. You know, he had to love that storyline because I mean, he was Shawn Michaels' second in it.
Yep.
So he saw it up close firsthand, and he saw the success. I don't think he divvies away that far away from the blueprint. He may swerve a little bit here, you know, shimmy a little bit there to work it a little bit different, but I don't see it going much farther away from that than Seth's cracking that damn chair probably over Drew's head.
Yep.
And Punk's going to get the win. And I wouldn't even be surprised to see them two do the stare down right at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Before Seth counts 3. And so if you got your peacock out, if you're holding your peacock right now, turn that joker over to SummerSlam 97. Go ahead and watch. Is it 97? Am I quoting that one right?
97 or 98? I can't remember.
No, it wasn't 98 because Brett was gone by 98. Remember, the screw job was 97. So,
That's
it's 97. I'm on point with it. Go ahead and watch that match in SummerSlam 97, main event match, Undertaker World Heavyweight Champ. See how that plays out. And tell me, damn, if you don't see the similarities coming out of SummerSlam, because I feel like they're going to be running parallels.
So talk about this real quick. The promo that they had on Monday, awkward as hell. I don't think
those 3 guys are always awkward.
I don't think it went anywhere where it was supposed to go, and it damn sure didn't get the pop or the heat that they thought it was going to get.
They seen it too long.
But the thing is, again, quoting our sources, Busted Open Bully was dead on the money. The whole thing got screwed over with the first statement. I've heard from Adam Pearce, you guys aren't supposed to touch tonight.
Yeah. Once you tell that, now you know we're just out here to look at y'all talk.
You're like, next. I mean, that's where you are.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just talking.
They said that last week. There wasn't really a need to revisit it. There was just, if you remember it from last week, great. But if you don't remember it from last week, oh, hell, you think we're going to get fireworks here.
Yep.
But if you know it's going to be the AEW Exploding Death Match ending, that's what you're going to get. Hell, if we'd have known that, we wouldn't have watched the whole thing.
No.
Damn sure would have paid for it, but we definitely wouldn't have watched it if we'd have known we were only going to get a fart in church. So when you preface it with, we're not going to have any physicality out here because all 3 of us are brittle as hell. We don't want nobody getting an injury or nothing. We want to get to this match. Well, hell, you're just telling me, well, I need to go get up and, go clean the kitchen or go cook dinner or something. Yeah, I got time.
So a lot of people, they're saying this is going to be the match of the night. This is a generational match. I don't see it.
So it's the first time we've seen CM Punk in a singles match on TV. So, I mean, which
is great, but I saw him in a singles match in TV in AEW.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and he got hurt.
The sweets off the candy, as they say, or the suckers off, however they phrase that line. But yeah, I don't think that's going to be the match.
Well, if I'm CM Punk, I'm just putting it out there right now. If I'm CM Punk, I find a way to get injured right out another year. I mean, hell, you're 2 years into a 3-year contract with 2 matches under your belt.
In NXT and work with Sean at that.
Oh, hell no, you're doing something. Hell, your ass is going to work. You one-winged angel or something out there. Hell, we're changing your gimmick, changing your name. Your ass is going to clock in somewhere.
All right, let's talk about the main event. You got Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa.
Yep.
Where do you see this going?
Nowhere.
So
we want Roman. We're not getting Roman.
You sure?
Hell yeah.
Positive.
Hell
You're not going to see an appearance from Roman at all. No, he's not in Cleveland at all.
Hell no. I don't even see him watching the damn pay-per-view himself. I feel like he's going to watch it I feel like he's going to have his peacock out that night and he'll watch it in the morning.
He got another kid coming.
Exactly. He'll watch it in the morning. I don't think we're going to see high nor hair Roman Reigns. I feel like we'll hear references all night about Roman Reigns this, Roman Reigns that. What's Roman going to say? He's shouting out Roman or he's disrespecting Roman or blah, blah, blah. I don't think we get a damn inch of Roman Reigns at the pay-per-view.
So when does SmackDown go to USA? Is that this year?
So yeah, it was right around that same time that Roman would have beat the Hogan mark, right? So it was
October.
Yeah, like October, November-ish. So it has to be October because
when we get a Roman return.
Yep. That's when you're going to see Roman. Like I said, you'll get a lot of references to it, but yeah, we're not going to see Roman again until
out for 2 more months.
Hell, Roman. We hadn't seen Roman since WrestleMania. And I mean, up until now, we haven't really wanted Roman. It's only been about a month that we really wanted Roman back,
right?
Because of what happened to Paul Heyman and things like. You got to bring Paul back first. You got to bring him back, and he's got to have some interaction with the bloodline before you get Roman, where he threatens Roman or he says, you guys did blah, blah, blah. They got time. You can milk into that.
You know what I would love to see, just for intrigue. May or may not make sense to anything going on, but here's what I would love to see. SmackDown Friday night. Cody Rhodes doesn't show up the whole entire SmackDown.
Nobody else wants to not see that, but okay.
But wait. All of a sudden, Bloodline is running roughshod the whole episode. In every match, they are making a mess of the whole SmackDown episode. Okay? At the end, we're supposed to get a Cody Rhodes sit down or something to that effect. Okay? We get ready to go to Cody's locker room. Time's ticking. You got 2 to 3 minutes left on the show. That's it. That's all you got. Time's ticking. Go to the locker room. The interviewer knocks on the door. The door opens. And before the interviewer can open the door, Paul Heyman's walking out of Cody's locker room. And all you see is Cody. Paul brushes the camera, walks past. The camera pans back to Cody in the locker room. And all you got is Cody sitting on the couch.
And now they're doing
smiling.
the thinking man's pose.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that.
That's intriguing.
Yeah, I like that. I definitely like that because that's your hit. That gives you what you. But I don't know if you want to do it at SmackDown before SummerSlam, right? Because if you do that at that SmackDown, then everybody's like, "Oh hell yeah, we're getting Roman tomorrow night." And then when Roman don't come, oh hell, you want to talk about a fart in church? Everybody.
So all right, so real quick, let's wrap this up. Where do we see this match going? Who's coming out? Is Cody retaining? Solo going to be crowned new champ?
I feel like there's going to be so much. I mean, it's definitely going to be Bloodline rules, right? They're going to have so much outside interference and so much chicanery and debauchery.
Randy Orton and KO coming to
exactly.
His defense.
Everybody, Jay may come out because I mean, he ain't got a lot of work to do at SmackDown, but he'll be there. So. All of that nonsense is Jimmy might come back. Now, that might be your return there. You might see Jimmy Uso come back.
I wouldn't mind that.
Now, you might see Jimmy come back now, but like I said, you got Jimmy, you got Roman, you got a lot of pieces, or Jimmy and Paul, I mean, you got a lot of pieces before you get to Roman. So, yeah, if they bring Jimmy back and he helps Cody win against the Bloodline, that gives you enough for SummerSlam.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, that gives you enough to get to SummerSlam, to whereas you might not bring Roman back until Survivor Series at that point.
Yep.
So, because you'll have your 4-on-4 then, and, maybe they're getting beat down after the match, and that's where you get Roman. But, I mean, that pushes Roman out to damn near Thanksgiving. So, that man's got a hell of a PTO plan. I like that.
I like that, too.
Hell
all right. Yeah. All right, everybody. So, that's our SummerSlam predictions. Hope you enjoy SummerSlam this coming weekend. We'll be watching it. Feel free to drop a line out on our social media platforms. Let us know what you thought of our predictions. Let us know what you think may happen with Cody and the new Bloodline. Definitely interesting times, interesting things, especially with freaking Shane and Tony Khan.
I can't wait to see where that goes.
What the hell is going on?
There's going to be a lot of conversation out of that. Thanks, y'all.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all for listening to today's podcast, and we bid you adieu.
Peace.
Today's podcast was produced by SBP. You can find our podcast on all major podcast platforms. Also, connect with us on our social media accounts. Search for The Bookers Alliance on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and